What's up, guys? JT Anime Nerd here, bringing you all that nerdy goodness. I know it's been a while since the prologue, but I've been busy making other videos as well as trying to perfect this script for the rewrite. I want to make this story the best as it can be. So, without further ado, let's get into Chapter one of my Mortal Kombat Rewritten edition. On a boat in the ocean, Liu Kang, Raiden, Scorpion, and Kung Lao set course for the island where Mortal Kombat is to take place. Kung Lao then approaches Liu Kang, who is now wearing a set of armbands around his arms. Kung Lao then hands Liu Kang a red headband, much to Liu Kang's confusion. "What is this?" asks Liu Kang as he takes the headband. This headband was this was the headband of my ancestor, the great Kung Lao. Kung Lao replied. "Consider it a token for your victory in the graduation tournament." Liu Kang wraps the headband around his forehead. "If it were up to me, you would have been a perfect choice for a student," Kung Lao states. "It is an honor to fight by your side, Kung Lao, but I am not deserving of your praise," claims Liu Kang. "What happened to Kung Jin was not your fault," Kung Lao states, "and if it eases your mind, do not forget that I failed to save him as well." Liu nods in acknowledgement of Kung Lao's words. Kung Lao then approaches Raiden, who is meditating while standing up. "Lord Raiden," says Kung Lao. "Kung Lao, no doubt lingering questions are the reason you approach me," Raiden says. "Merely one," Kung Lao makes clear. "Master Shujinko, do you believe he is alive?" "Believe it or not, Shujinko once traversed all 6 realms by himself as a form of training," Raiden explains. "I cannot say for sure if he will survive the journey now, but I have faith in his survival." Raiden places his hands on Kung Lao's shoulders. "Have hope, Kung Lao," Raiden says. Kung Lao then looks back at the back of the boat, seeing Scorpion staring into the horizon behind them. "And what of our guest?" Kung Lao asked. "Scorpion is an enigma, but I sense a light of hope in his shackled heart," Raiden states. "You need not worry about him. Even so, he has given us little reason to trust him despite his aid at the temple," Kung Lao states before walking away. Raiden looks back at Scorpion, who is just continuing to stare into the horizon from the direction they came from, and begins walking toward him. Raiden walks up and stands next to Scorpion. "You seem to be lost in thought," Raiden stated. "I'm merely preparing for the battles ahead," Scorpion replies. "Mortal Kombat is not something to take lightly." "Wise words coming from a lone ninja wrapped in the fires of the Netherrealm," Raiden says. "If you're trying to ask something, then ask and be done with it," Scorpion says aggressively. "Very well," Raiden replies. "I've been wondering this since we departed. How does the last survivor of the Shirai Ryu come to find himself at Botan Jungle? I doubt it was to hunt the Tarkatans in an attack you could not have foreseen." "I'd stay in your lane, Thunder God. I am not one of your disciples, nor am I one of your worshippers," Scorpion stated. "To make things clearer, I owe you no explanation." "Continue to feign ignorance if you wish," Raiden states. "Just be sure that the path you walk is one of your own choosing." As Raiden walks away, Scorpion returns to staring into the horizon behind the boat, thinking on Raiden's words. Meanwhile, Liu Kang notices to his right a yacht traveling beside them, with a wealthy-looking man wearing sunglasses on board, and to his left, a military boat being helmed by a muscular-looking woman and muscular militant-looking man. Raiden then looks forward in the direction of their destination. "We have arrived," Raiden announces. Liu Kang and Kung Lao turn away from Raiden to see an island in plain view, the site of Mortal Kombat. Scorpion then looks down in the direction behind the boat, seeing a native-looking man with face paint rowing on his own boat, surprisingly keeping up with the boat Scorpion and company are on. Moments later, Raiden and company arrive simultaneously with the other boats. After Raiden and company exit the boat, They are approached by the man in sunglasses, the muscular woman, militant man, and the native man in face painting.
Everyone, I'd like to introduce you to the combatants I went to before coming to the Wuxi Academy,
Raiden states.
This is Nightwolf of the Matoka tribe. I am honored to stand alongside you all.
Nightwolf states.
This is Johnny Cage.
Martial arts superstar, nice to meet you. Johnny interrupts as he shakes Kung Lao's hand. Gotta say, wicked production value. Can't wait to start shooting. Everyone looks at Johnny with slight confusion. Johnny then notices, as shown by him looking at the reaction of everyone around him. Jeez, who died? Asked Johnny.
Cage is an odd one, but is also a strong and true martial artist.
Yep, trained with various and expensive martial arts masters, Johnny brags. Kung Lao scoffs at Johnny's words. A master who sells their skills is no true master at all, Kung Lao states. Still money well spent, Johnny replies.
This woman is named Sonya Blade, a soldier trained within the Special Forces in America.
If you don't mind, I'd rather skip the pleasantries, so we can get down to business, said Sonya.
I see you brought someone I hadn't approached,
Raiden points out.
Ames Jax,
said the militant man. He's my commanding officer, Sonya stated. His presence here is not up for discussion.
The more combatants, the better,
Raiden replies. As Raiden and company arrive within the temple, they witness many monks surrounding and preparing the temple for the beginning of the tournament, as well as spectators, many of them not being human. Whoa, now this is one hell of a set, Johnny said in excitement. Am I right? Sonya then rolls her eyes at Johnny's question.
Quite the decor,
Jack stated. Not bad, Kung Lao followed.
Reminds me of home,
said Liu Kang.
It would appear our host has an obsession with Asian agriculture. Maybe it's because that is the region he hails from, Thunder God,
said a mysterious voice coming from a balcony above the main arena. Raiden looks up in shock at what appears to be a familiar old man.
It can't be,
Raiden said. Old Raiden, who is this man? Asked Kung Lao.
Our apparent host.
Shang Tsung, Raiden exclaims.
Who?
Asked Liu Kang.
You don't know him by name, but by his story,
Raiden explains.
Shang Tsung is the original champion of Earthrealm, the one the great Kung Lao defeated all those years ago and exiled to Outworld.
Liu Kang and Kung Lao turned back to look at Shang Tsung in shock, with Shang Tsung showing a smug expression.
I see my reputation precedes me, said Shang Tsung. How long has it been, Lord Raiden? Not since my greatest defeat at the hands of the great Kung Lao have we met face to face. Why are you here? How are you here? Asked. Have you not put it together? And I thought you were supposed to be an omnipotent elder god. Don't tell me that you... Yes, Raiden. I and my combatants shall be representing Outworld, Shang interjects. This would mean that you're the one who sent the Tarkatans to attack Wuxi Academy, Raiden
claims. These words cause Kung Lao's expression to turn from one of shock to one of anger.
I assure you, Raiden, I know not what you speak of, Shang Tsung replies.
Enraged, Kung Lao throws his bladed hat at Shang Tsung with his fullest force. However, Shang Tsung easily catches Kung Lao's hat and throws it back at him, with Kung Lao luckily catching it in response, but receiving a slight cut on his palm, seemingly showing how strong Shang Tsung truly is.
I commend you for your bravery, but question your actions, young one, Shang says. Tell me, who are you? I am Kung Lao, descendant of the great Kung Lao, and your attack on Wuxi Academy killed my nephew. I see the resemblance in both physicality and skill, Shang Tsung claims as he walks down the rest of the stairs from the balcony. However, as I said before, I know not of what you speak, young Kung Lao.
Feign, feign ignorance if you will, but we will win this tournament, Liu Kang states.
Ah, and who might this be? Another one of Shu Jinko's disciples? Asked Shang Tsung.
He is a combatant, like the rest, Raiden replies.
Of course.
Shang Tsung suddenly notices flames emanating within the pupils of Liu Kang's eyes, indicating his held back rage toward Shang Tsung, but also meaning something more.
Just like the rest, Shang Tsung stated with a curious smirk before taking his leave.
Raiden then stops Kung Lao from getting agitated any further, signified by him blocking Kung Lao from moving forward to strike at Shang Tsung again. Fret not, Kung Lao. You will get your chance, but only after the tournament, Raiden explained.
My fellow Outrealmers and Earthrealmers, the time has come for Mortal Kombat to begin! Shouted Shang Tsung from the balcony.
Ceremonial drums begin playing following Shang Tsung's announcement.
These rules are as follows, Shang Tsung makes clear. In accordance to tradition, by the laws of the Elder Gods, the battle is to be one-on-one matches from teams of 7. Whichever team has the most victories by the end of the final fight shall be the champion of Mortal Kombat. Now, it appears that at Earthrealm seem to have overextended their roster this year. So to start off, we'll have an exhibition match not only to even things out, but to show just how brutal this tournament can be. Earthrealm, who shall represent you in this match?
Raiden is slightly perplexed at the thought of an exhibition match as the start of the tournament.
Let me give it a shot, Jack says.
You sure you can handle this? Asked Sonya.
Please, I taught you everything I know. Watch and learn, Jack.
Jack's way, Raiden exclaims, with his plea unheard. Jack steps forward and runs out onto the main arena with an adrenaline rush, ready to fight.
Very well, Shang Tsung says. Representing Outworld, its champion, the prince of the Shokan clan, and Goro! No!
Raiden shouts, running toward the arena, only to get blocked by Shang Tsung's soldiers.
Not so fast, Lord Raiden, Shang Tsung exclaims. As I'm sure you are aware, the Elder Gods will not forgive your rogue actions, so I believe it's safe to assume that should you interfere, the Elder Gods will act. Be certain of that.
Suddenly, a cage door leading to the opposite hallway opens, with heavy and ground-shaking footsteps growing louder and louder as they grow closer. Just then, a giant four-armed brute of a warrior emerges from the hallway, nearly stomping toward the arena, the champion known as Goro. Everyone but Johnny and Scorpion was stunned at the look of Goro, with Sonya beginning to think that the whole gods and fate of Earthrealm thing is actually real. Now that's a costume, Johnny states.
Behold, the prince of the Shokan people, champion of Outworld, Goro!
Shang Tsung announced. Once Goro entered the main arena, he began shouting in an attempt to show off, raising all four arms in confidence.
Well, shit. Looks like Straw Hat wasn't making things up, Jack said. I thought he was just crazy. Another Earthrealmer, ready to bite the dust, said Goro.
Iron forearm not monster or not, I don't plan on taking it easy on you, your highness, Jack states.
You are foolish, but brave, so I won't hold back either.
Shang Tsung then sits down on his throne on the top of the balcony.
Fight!
Shouts. Jax begins punching Goro left and right, but to no avail, as each punch is like a leaf passing over a person's skin. In Jax's shock, Goro punches him, causing Jax to fly across the arena and hit an invisible barrier. Raiden looks at Shang Tsung in anger.
Insurance. There is no surrender in Mortal Kombat, Shang Tsung stated.
Jax gets up, not ready to call it quits. Jax, stop! You can't win this one! Sonya shouts.
Don't count me out yet, Sonya. Remember what I taught you, Jax said. No retreat,
no victory, Sonya responds in a slightly cracked voice. Jax continues to attack Goro, but Goro continues to counter with his own punches, nearly breaking Jax's body bit by bit. As Jax becomes more beaten and broken, he begins to have flashes of his wife and daughter, realizing what it would mean if he didn't come back alive.
I surrender,
Jax uttered, much to Sonya's shock. However, Goro aggressively grabs Jax by a bottom torso, nearly crushing his ribs in the process. Jax screams in pain as Goro lifts Jax up and continues to punch his face with his two upper arms. Stop! He surrendered! The match is over! Sonya shouted at Shang Tsung. Please, he has a family, a daughter to look after, please!
As I said, there is no surrender in Mortal Kombat,
Shang Tsung made clear. Goro stops punching for a moment, looking at Shang Tsung as if he needed his permission. And for something.
Finish him,
Shang Tsung declared. With his upper arms, Goro began to yank Jax's arms away from his body. No! Stop! Sonya shouts.
That is enough, Shang Tsung,
shouts Raiden.
Only victory decides when enough is enough,
Shang Tsung states with glee. Through the sounds of cracking bones and tearing flesh, Goro successfully rips off Jax's arms, making Jax scream in great pain. No! Sonya shouts in despair. Jax's body drops to the ground, and the last thing that enters Jax's mind is the image of his daughter's smile, before passing out from excessive blood loss.
Goro wins,
Shang Tsung declares. The crowd cheers with glee at Goro's victory, disgusting Raiden and company. Jax! Sonya shouts while running to Jax's aid. Holy shit. None of this is fake, is it? Johnny asked, catching the attention of his companions, excluding Sonya. Sonya makes it to Jax, but doesn't know how to help Jax from losing any more blood, since it's due to his arms being ripped off. Raiden, please help! Sonya yells.
He cannot,
Shang Tsung states, stopping Raiden from moving any more forward.
This exhibition match, unplanned or otherwise, is a technical part of the tournament. Interference from an elder god is expressly forbidden, even to heal a fallen combatant.
As tears begin to fall from Sonya's eyes, a cold chill begins to emerge, turning Sonya's breath to mist. Raiden and company, Goro, even Shang Tsung look around in confusion. However, Scorpion's eyes widen, looking around in frantic thought.
This cold air, I recognize it,
Scorpion claims. Scorpion looks on, as from the hallway Goro emerged from, a warrior that resembles Scorpion emerges, but is clothed in blue. As the warrior in blue walked toward the arena, cold air was generating from his body, slightly freezing the objects around him, even the ground he walked on. As the warrior in blue gets closer to the arena, Scorpion clenches his fist, generating flames around it. The warrior in blue passes Goro, who just looks at the warrior in blue in annoyance, walking closer and closer to Sonya and Jax. Expecting him to be a threat, Sonya shows an intimidating expression at the warrior in blue. Back off, scumbag! Sonya shouts as she charges at the warrior in blue. The warrior dodges every one of Sonya's attacks and then knocks her back, freezing her feet to the ground, leaving her unable to temporarily walk. The warrior in blue continues walking toward Jax. Don't you touch him, you son of a bitch! Shouts Sonya. Shang Tsung then looks down with a smile, expecting the warrior to put Jax out of his misery. Scorpion then jumps to attack the warrior. as the warrior kneels down to Jax's level. Just then, a lightning bolt strikes at Scorpion and pins him down to the floor. Scorpion grunts in frustration.
What is the meaning of this? Release me!
Scorpion shouts. Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Nightwolf, and Johnny turn to see Raiden using his lightning powers to restrain Scorpion. Lord Raiden, what is the meaning of this? Liu Kang asked. Watch. As the warrior in blue kneeled down, he places his hands over the wounds where Jax's arms used to be, only to then cauterize them with his ice, preventing any more blood loss and saving Jax's life. Sonya can only look on in surprise, as this mysterious warrior, who could very well be their enemy, has just saved the life of her dearest friend. The ice around Sonya's feet then dissipates, by the command of the warrior in blue. Tend to your friend's wounds. I stopped the bleeding, but the ice could lead to infection, the warrior claimed. As Sonya sees an unconscious Jax begin to move, Sonya looks back at Sub-Zero with tearful eyes of joy. Thank you, Sonya utters. Sonya places Jax over her shoulder, helping remove him from the main arena.
Well, it appears much is to be unexpected in this year's Mortal Kombat, Shang Tsung states. I shall enter Jax, Sonya. You must remain here to be prepared for the tournament, Raiden states. Sonya reluctantly hands Jax to Raiden, who then teleports Jax away from the courtyard. With Raiden's leave, Scorpion is released, enraged at the interference. With all that said and done, the time has come to test your might,
Shang Tsung announces, snapping his fingers. Shang Tsung's attendants then come out with metallic emblems of the Mortal Kombat dragon symbol.
These emblems are made from the strongest metals in Edenia, one of the 6 prime realms,
Shang Tsung explains.
The goal is simple. Whichever warrior of both teams can successfully break the emblem and will be the ones to fight in the first round. However, should you fail, then you will simply sit on the sidelines for this round with either a broken hand or arm.
A flash of lightning signifies Raiden's return.
What is this, Shang Tsung? Asked Raiden. Never in Mortal Kombat history was the participation for the tournament decided as such. It is not against the Elder Gods' rules to be creative in participation of their great competition, Shang Tsung explains. Now then, come forth, my champions.
From the hallway, the remaining 5 fighters for Outworld emerge. One a warrior in green, one a cybernetic human, 2 who are female warriors wearing almost revealing clothing, and a trio of who look to be lackeys of the cyborg.
As you have all seen, representing Outworld, my champion, Goro, Shang Tsung, as well as the champion of the Lin Kuei, master of ice magic itself, Sub-Zero. And from the pits of Zetera comes the Saurian, Reptile, leader of the Black Dragon clan and wanted in over all 50 states. Kano!
Sonya looks at Kano with seething hatred. So he really is here, Sonya says to herself.
The femme fatale, Kira,
Shang Tsung.
The cybernetic martial artist, Jarek. And finally, the fist of the Black Dragon clan, Cobra. All 3 known as the 3 Fangs of the Black Dragons. Finally, we have our Edenian royalty representing Outworld, as well as being the daughters of Outworld's emperor, the Great Khan himself.
Emperor? Asked Raiden.
The twin sisters of Edenia, Kitana and Melina.
Liu Kang looks at Kitana with much curiosity and enthrallment. Letting your eyes wander, Liu Kang? Asked Kung Lao. No, not at all, Liu Kang responds. Good, because remember, she is our enemy, Kung Lao states.
Now then, for Outworld, Cobra shall go first, Shang Tsung commands. Raiden, choose your fighter.
Raiden then steps forward.
I choose Liu Kang, Raiden declares.
Liu Kang's expression then becomes one of surprise, as he didn't expect to be the first one to fight in the tournament.
Do not fret, Liu Kang. This is what you've been training for,
Raiden says. Liu Kang nods in agreement. Kung Lao then places his hand on Liu Kang's shoulder.
You have our luck, Liu Kang, Kung Lao says. For Kung Jin,
Liu Kang says in response. Liu Kang then enters the main arena alongside Cobra, who enters it from the opposite side. The two then stand in front of the metal emblems that they are meant to shatter.
Ready?
Shang Tsung asks. Cobra and Liu Kang then lift their right arms, preparing to chop down at the emblem.
Now!
Shouts Shang Tsung. Simultaneously, Liu Kang and Cobra chop down to break the emblem. Liu successfully shatters the metallic emblem, succeeded in entering the first round of Mortal Kombat. A crack followed by a scream from Cobra is then heard, as Cobra failed and ultimately broke his arm in trying to shatter the metallic emblem.
It would appear that Liu Kang shall proceed to the first round, while Cobra shall be sitting this out,
Shang Tsung declares reluctantly.
Goro, if you would.
Goro then snaps Cobra's arm back into place, causing much pain, signified by Cobra's scream.
In Cobra's place, I substitute Reptile,
says Shang Tsung. Reptile then stands in front of the emblem and bows. With great swiftness, Reptile successfully breaks the metallic emblem, cementing his place in the first round.
And so Reptile shall be the first of Outworld to fight in the first round of Mortal Kombat,
Shang Tsung says, with a smile on his face. Shang Tsung's attendants then remove the broken pieces of the metallic emblems, so the match can commence, leaving the ring free for the two fighters to begin.
Take your positions,
Shang Tsung says. Liu Kang and Reptile stand across from each other, positioning themselves to prepare for the beginning of their battle.
Ready?
Asks Shang Tsung. Liu Kang and Reptile enter their battle stances, speaking through eye contact as they exchange no words.
Fight!
Shouted Shang Tsung. Liu Kang and Reptile exchange blows one after another. As it seems Liu Kang is gaining the upper hand, Reptile then turns invisible, surprising Liu Kang. As Liu Kang tries to counter Reptile's sneak attacks, Liu Kang begins to suddenly be struck with cuts, feeling like sharp claws as to his skin. Liu Kang begins to notice actual claw marks on his body, confusing him. Lord Raiden, what's happening? Asked Kung Lao.
Shang Tsung stated that this fighter was from Zatera, a realm aside from the main six, Raiden states. So it's only safe to assume that he is one of the reptilian race known as the Saurian, being capable of shapeshifting and even turning invisible, hence the name, Reptile.
As Liu Kang continues to be cut, the blood loss leads him to nearly pass out, bringing him to his knees. This moment leads Liu Kang to flash back to when he was young and being trained by Boraicho while wearing a blindfold.
So, why am I wearing a blindfold, Master?
Asked a young Liu.
You mustn't rely on your sight in a fight, but also your other senses, hearing, smell, touch. Even a change in the air can be enough to decide how a battle ends.
But that's impossible, isn't it?
Asked young Liu.
Trust me, little guy.
Back in the present, Liu Kang opens his eyes, remembering Boraicho's words.
Nothing is impossible,
said Boraicho's voice in Liu Kang's head. Liu stands tall with his eyes closed, focusing on his surroundings instead of his sight. Raiden then smiles, realizing where the battle is now going.
Finish him!
Shang Tsung shouts. As Reptile is about to strike the final blow while invisible, Liu Kang senses the change in the direction of the air coming from Reptile's direction, and so Liu Kang counters his Reptile, causing Reptile to be pushed back and revert from his invisible state. Reptile stands, showing his true reptilian form,
making him look almost like a giant iguana. Liu Kang assumes his fighting stance. You think just because you know my location, you think you've won, don't you? Asked Reptile. Have I not gained the advantage? Liu Kang asked in response. This is no doubt my true form, but it is not my strongest, Reptile claims. But while I can use this power, my race in this form, I cannot utilize the martial arts I've learned in this body. So that's why you turn human, to compensate for your true form's incompatibility with your fighting style. Liu Kang guesses. Yes, but I've learned something in that, in that my people have not. A form that places me at the pinnacle of my race. Reptile then transforms into his hybrid form from Mortal Kombat 10. Liu Kang is surprised by Reptile's form change. Now then, show me what you can do now, human, Reptile demanded. Reptile turns invisible again, only instead of clawing at Liu Kang, Reptile spit an acid at him. The acid hits Liu Kang on the side of his left arm, burning it in the process, causing it to blister a bit. Liu Kang continues to sense Reptile's attacks, dodging in every way he can, but is being overwhelmed by overutilizing his senses. As Reptile begins to attack Liu Kang with his martial arts while invisible, Liu Kang swiftly counters Reptile's attacks, but is beginning to overexert himself, making himself slower and susceptible to an attack from Reptile. Reptile then begins getting hits and slashes in at Liu Kang, knocking him down with a slash to the chest. Reptile then turns visible, ready to kill Liu Kang. I will not repeat myself again. Finish him, Shang Tsung demands. End of the road, Earthrealmer, Reptile states. Reptile then pukes up as much of his acid puke as he needs, causing Liu to scream in pain as his flesh is gravely burning. Liu Kang, shouts Kung Lao. As Reptile continues to vomit acid on Liu Kang, a flash of light begins radiating from Liu until it bursts, knocking Reptile back and damaging him with slight fire. After putting out the small flames on his body, Reptile stands up, only to see Liu Kang stand with his burned wounds cauterizing and then healing as an aura of flame surrounds his body. What kind of power is this? Reptile asks. Shang Tsung looks down, almost as if this power was somewhat familiar to him. I don't know, but what I do know is that with this power, I am already victorious, Liu Kang states. Reptile then turns invisible and charges at Liu Kang, only for Liu to jump and use his bicycle kick against Reptile, making him visible again. No, no, for my people, for Zatera, I will not lose to you! Shouts Reptile as he then charges at Liu. I'm sorry, but this ends now, Liu states. As Reptile transforms into his true form and charges at him, Liu Kang channels his flames into his right fist, followed by punching Reptile, knocking him down and leaving him unable to fight. Everyone looks in shock as Liu Kang has defeated his first opponent. Well, what are you waiting for? Asked Shang Tsung. Finish him! What? Asked Liu Kang in surprise. There is no surrender in Mortal Kombat, Shang Tsung states. But there is defeat if unable to continue, Shang Tsung, Raiden interjects. And as you can see, Reptile cannot continue, Liu Kang declares. As Shang Tsung inspects Reptile, he realizes that he's unconscious, unable to continue the battle. Shang Tsung sighs in frustration. Very well. Liu Kang wins. The crowd cheers at what was to them an entertaining fight, despite an Earthrealmer being victorious. Liu Kang steps off the main arena, joining his comrades in slight celebration. Raiden then nods at Liu Kang, acknowledging his first true victory against a worthy opponent. Shang Tsung then looks up, noticing the sun beginning to set. Shang Tsung then stands up to address the participants and spectators. It appears this day was more surprise than ever. But just as the sun is setting, so too must this day of battle, says Shang Tsung. Feel free to make yourselves at home in your dormitories, for both spectators and combatants. The tournament shall continue in the morn. Till then, Thunder God.
Raiden walks away, giving Shang Tsung a scorning gaze before taking his leave. Goro then picks up Reptile, who then regains consciousness. Goro then lets Reptile down, but keeps a hold of him.
Should I rip him in two?
Asked Goro. Panicked, Reptile tries to break free of Goro's grip, but to no avail.
No, he may still be of use to me, Shang Tsung states. And besides, so long as his people are under the thumb of the Khan, he'll continue to be my dog.
I live to do your bidding, Master, Reptile says reluctantly.
Good, pet, Shang Tsung replies. Your next task is an important one, as I need you to ensure our victory in this tournament.
Should I slit Kang's throat? Reptile asked.
No, leave him to me, Shang Tsung replies. It appears there is more to him than meets the eye, and may be the key to our true victory. It seems you have true competition, Goro, as we seem to have a dragon in our midst.
Meanwhile, outside Shang Tsung's island, a boat with a lone warrior on it approaches the island. As lightning strikes from behind the direction the warrior came from, the light reveals a blindfolded man with a mysterious sword on his back. To be continued. And there you have it, guys. Part 1 of or at least Chapter 1 of my Mortal Kombat at Rewritten Edition. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and put down in the comment section below on what you thought of this rewrite. I also want to mention I have a new merch store. Link will be down in the description below or pinned in the comment section. Go check that out if you're interested in buying some merch. With all that said and done, I'm JAT Anime, and I'll check you guys later.